Hello, everyone, and a big warm welcome to Mindfulness with Kelly. If you're a regular, it's so lovely to have you back. And if you're new, I'm thrilled to have you visit my channel. Today, we're going to talk about ethical principles, and then we're going to do a guided meditation, which will be around 5 minutes, and we'll be exploring that. In order to, if you're serious about deepening your meditation practice, there's some guidelines or some principles that I hold very dear, and part of Buddhism, they are called the 5 precepts, and it's principles what you're trying to cultivate in your life. So, in order to deepen your meditation or explore the road to your full potential, we look more closely into our ethical practices. And these are not a set of rules or religious laws. They are not a stick to beat people, or they're not a rod for our own backs. They are ethical guidelines, or I guess training principles, or principles of training that have negative aspects of what we're not trying to cultivate, and they have positive aspects of what we are trying to cultivate. And it's definitely not a to-do list of should do's and shouldn't do's. We are trying to develop the virtues and the strengths such as courage, kindness, compassion, patience, honesty, and a real willingness to learn. Because if you're completely willing to learn, then your world will open, and your world will be able to flourish. So the five training principles, or ethical principles, or in other words, the 5 precepts of the Buddhist practice, and I think regardless if you're into Buddhism or not, if you kind of start to cultivate these principles in your life, they will have a positive effect, and I can say that just purely from experience. So the first one is refrain from harm, and so that's what we're trying not to do. And the opposite of that, or what we're trying to cultivate, is love. And refraining from harm, I mean, I personally are a vegetarian, or I try to stick to kind of being vegetarian. And in a way, I've been a vegetarian now for sort of 9 years, something around that. And that's what I try and kind of live by. However, if I'm unable to do that, I don't beat myself and say you've eaten meat or you've done that. It's just what you're trying to do is just cultivate no harm. And it's had a real positive impact in my life. The second one is refrain from taking the not given. And the opposite of that is cultivating generosity. And I know through my experience, and it doesn't have to be money, it doesn't have to be any monetary value. It can be time. It can be having random acts of kindness, which can be generosity. And I know when I cultivate generosity openly in my life, that there's a lot of positive mental states that arise because of that. The third is refraining from sexual misconduct, and the opposite of that is cultivating a level of contentment. Cultivating a level of contentment which stands for principles. The fourth is refraining from lying. And the opposite of that is really cultivating honesty. And when we speak honestly and act honestly, it kind of eliminates that anxiety of potentially doing or saying the wrong thing. And just from experience, cultivating, honesty for me has had a real, transformational effect of, being honest with ourselves, and then being able to be honest to others. But the honesty within ourselves is something that can be quite challenging. And the last one is refraining from intoxicants. And the flip side of that is obviously cultivating awareness. And through cultivating awareness, you can do that through meditation. Um, and intoxicants aren't just limited to drugs and alcohol and mind altering, um, things. They can be, any obsession that you've kind of got, whether it's, a shopaholic, or anything that makes you non-aware, and addictions, I guess, in many ways can be classified as intoxicants. So they're the things we're trying to cultivate. So we're cultivating love, generosity, contentment, honesty, and cultivating awareness. And we can do that mainly through meditation practice. And cultivating those ethical principles really has a profound impact in our lives. So now we're going to do a 5-minute mindfulness of breathing meditation. So if you've never done this before, that's absolutely fine. All I require is your back to be straight. You can sit on the sofa or you can sit on a chair. And I'll be guiding you through bells. So just when you're ready, just set yourself up. And just close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, just feel the sense of relief, of letting go of the effort of having your eyes open. And just start to check into your emotional tone. And just check into how your body feels. And just start to notice the weight of your body on the floor or the cushion. And just feel yourself melting into the floor. And letting go of any effort. And then just connect to the breath. And expand your awareness to the whole of your body. And just check into your thoughts. Just notice them come and go. And you don't have to engage in them. There's nowhere you have to be. There's nothing you have to do in the next 5 minutes. And if your mind is busy, just see if you can ground your energy down to your sitting bones and where the weight of your body makes contact to the floor or the cushion. And as you connect to your breath, we're just going to explore the cycle of the breath. And it may help to count at the end of the out breath. So just breathe in and see if you can use a couple of really deep breaths too. And then try and empty out all the air from your stomach on the out breath. So just take a couple of deep breaths and really empty out the Empty out the air, all the stale air from your stomach on the out breath. And when you're ready, with the out breath, just breathe in and breathe out. And at the end of the out breath, just count 1. And then breathe in and out and count 2. Breathe in and breathe out and count 3. And when you get to 10, start back at 1 again. This will be an anchor for your concentration. And as you count, just expand your awareness around the whole of your body and just notice any tension. And if you notice any tension in your back or in your shoulders, just see if you can iron them out. Just see if you can soften them a little bit further. And if your mind has a lot to say about this, that you can't do it or it's silly, that's fine. Just allow your thoughts to come and go like cars passing by. And if you forget what number that you're up to, just start at 1 again. And just now start to let the practice go. Check back into your emotional tone. And just notice the weight of your body on the floor or the cushion. Start to notice the sounds inside the room and the sounds outside the room. And just start to notice the clothes on your skin. And notice the texture of your thoughts, the tone of your thoughts. And when you're ready, just open your eyes and really congratulate yourself for making the effort, because even if we sit for 5 minutes a day, what meditation does, it just allows a little bit of space for you to get to know yourself, and that can be invaluable in this this modern age of always being busy. This just allows a break and a pause in your day to understand your thinking and your thought process, and giving your mind a bit of a break. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.